What's up, everybody? And I just got done seeing the Flash movie, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This is not the best movie of all time. Like how, Andy Muschietti and James Gunn and DC and Warner Bros. Have been advertising that this is gonna be the best comic book movie in history. Is not. But that doesn't take away that this movie is a pretty great movie. I'll be honest with you, man. Before I put my expectations high, that after I saw all the horrible CGI, the horrible VFX, I put my expectations lower so that when I went into the movie, to be honest, that movie was better than I expected. This movie has a lot of heart and has a lot of emotion in the movie, because especially with Barry and his mom, every scene that they had, it was very great. It was very, impactful to me, to be honest, because, obviously my mom isn't dead, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people have that fear of losing your parents, losing your mom, and you can't do anything to do it, so that when the Flash actually does do something, it destroys everything. It destroys everything. And I like how they did it bit by bit by bit. The first thing he destroyed was, now every hero was gone. Superman, Aquaman, Cyborg, everyone was gone and they never existed. But the only one that still existed was Barry and Batman. But Batman was not the Batman you think. It wasn't Ben Affleck. It was Michael Keaton. And I ain't gonna lie, he played his role very good in this movie. I ain't gonna lie. Some people were saying that, oh, he was just a one-liner. No, he wasn't. He had more depth. He had a reason as to why he quit being Batman, because in this new universe, Gotham became the best place to live. That's why to me, that's why I think it's a good movie, because that's not how Gotham is. That's why The Flash really fucked up time. I could say more like Sasha Calle's Supergirl, and people were complaining about how she didn't have that much screen time. Well, if you look at the Flashpoint paradox that this movie is loosely based on, Superman didn't have that much screen time. They based Supergirl off of Superman, because the same thing, Batman and the Flash found Supergirl in that containment pod in Siberia, the same way that they found Superman in Area 51. I forgot where it was, but he was being held by the US in the Flashpoint paradox. And trust me, the current DC is straight ass. Their movies are straight ass, straight abysmal. The only good one the last year was the Batman and the Suicide Squad, but everything else was straight pure ass, man. But this one, to be honest, I feel is getting unnecessary hate, but this is where the hate is not all unnecessary, because I have to talk about the cons of this movie. This movie CGI is probably one of the worst CGIs I've seen in my life. This movie CGI is really bad. The first act and the second act is not too bad. It looks pretty good. But the third act, where they do all these CGI fights, it looked really bad. The scenes itself were played good, but the visual aspect of it was really bad, man. I ain't gonna lie. That's why a lot of people are hating on it, because it looks bad. If this movie really looked good, this movie will be loved by almost everybody. But I think this movie is divisive. I think it's good. But the other con of this movie is the second Flash, the second Ezra Miller, because I ain't gonna lie, I understand that they made him that way because he's not Barry, if you think about it, because Barry is who he is because his parents died. So if his parents is not dead, he's different. That's why he acts weird. He's 18, he's young, he says these weird slangs that it was annoying and obnoxious, to be honest. But ultimately at the end, it does make sense as to why he's like this, as to what his future and his fate holds, because the Flash, Barry especially, is always gonna be a destructor of the multiverse. No matter where he is, no matter what he does, he will always be a product of destruction. That's why the swerve at the end of the Dark Flash being Barry, it made sense. But the cons of the movie are just that obnoxious and annoying second Ezra and the horrible CGI. But I ain't even gonna lie, I'm not even gonna talk about Ezra's real life horrible legal issues where they are a groomer. I ain't gonna lie, Ezra is a groomer. There's no two ways about it. But I'm gonna talk about the movie itself. The movie, to be honest, is a really good movie, man. I ain't gonna lie, I'll rate it an 8 out of 10, an 8.3 out of 10. The reason why I'm docking some points, because it just looked visually bad. You know what I'm saying? It just looked visually bad at times. I felt embarrassed a bit. You know what I'm saying? But it was a very good movie. I liked it. You know what I'm saying? And I think Andy Muschietti is gonna be, doing the new Batman movie, Brave and the Bold, in a couple years. I don't know how I feel about that, but the way I feel about this movie is that this movie, it ended the horrible DCEU on a pretty good note. I think it did, you know what I'm saying? But that's the end of the video, man. Let me know your thoughts about this movie, man. But I'm out. Peace.